Hello, goodbye, and hello again. Welcome back to Drifter Carbon and to another Minecraft texture pack review. Today we're taking a look at Alien Worlds Texture Pack by GoE-Craft. Not to be confused with Alien Worlds by Polymaps, which I also reviewed and forgot that I had already reviewed a pack called Alien Worlds. It's okay. There's a lot of that in the Minecraft marketplace where people use the same names and concepts and stuff. But anyway, so this one is like 660 Minecraft coins and it's 56.4 megabytes. The description says, how would alien life evolve in the world of Minecraft? How would it feel to explore the overworld of an alien planet? Transform your world into an organic, vivid extraterrestrial planet with this super sharp photorealistic resource pack. 64x hyper-realistic resource pack, advanced geometry mob design. So there's, as you can see, the mobs all look totally different from normal. Perfect for roleplay, building and exploring, SCP ready. Not sure why they're saying that specifically. I guess maybe some of the mobs look like SCPs, and 12 HD skins. So this one, the icon says 1.20 update, but it's actually 1.21.94. So we have the Happy Ghast in this pack, which I think is the first time we've actually seen a custom version of that. So that'll be exciting. Let's go ahead and scroll down and look at the avatars real quick. The skins, rather. They've got skins for a lot of the different mobs here. This guy looks like the Demogorgon from Stranger Things. That was the first thing that caught my eye with the mobs in this pack. But, you know, they got a variety of things. So if you like some kind of, you know, monstrous alien characters, then these do the trick. Some of these are like repetitious. There's some of these that are repeats, but you know, maybe you want a different color of a Cyclops. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and jump on in. Here we are in the texture pack review world, and right off the bat you can tell this is one of those texture packs that completely changes the look of Minecraft. This is pretty crazy. Check out that skybox also, and that wicked sun. I like that. Right off the bat, very interesting aesthetic they've got going here. Let's look at things that grow. Some nice fun baby trees there, and I like the leaf patterns and tree bark. There's some fun mushrooms. Here's various crops. We got some three-eyed jack-o'-lanterns there and carved pumpkins. Weird looking melon too. The pitcher plant has teeth. Eyeballs on the wither roses leaves. Some more eyeball plants here. So kind of some fun, weird alien plants. Fun sunflower as well. I like that. There's the cactus. It has eyeballs as well. Lots of things have eyeballs. Eyeballs seem to be a theme in this pack. So if you're one of those people that has a fear of eyeballs, I guess this pack is not for you. Unless you want to be spooked, at which point maybe this is the pack for you. Here's the pale moss carpet and some of the pale moss blocks. Pale garden blocks, rather. We have logs and planks. You can see, yeah, there's some fun patterns here. They didn't just like copy and paste and color swap the logs, so that's good. Nice stripped logs there as well. Some of those would be fun to build with. Very pastel. Here's planks. Looks like there's just one plank design for the different colors of planks. And no variations on the planks. Dirt, sand, gravel, and moss. Here's sand and gravel, suspicious sand and suspicious gravel. There are differences, but it's subtle. You'd have to kind of know what to look for in this pack. Here's sandstone. Stone and stuff. Yeah, I think they did a good job with their stone textures. You know, they're not too crazy, but you don't have to be crazy. So looks like this pack doesn't really do variations in general. So I will not worry about that. Here's polished stone, cobblestones, bricks. Here's stone, bricks, blocks, etc. Not as fond of this brick pattern as I could be. But you know, there's some interesting designs here with the brick blocks. Excuse me. Glass. Almost said grass for some reason. Here's what the glass said grass again. Here's what the glass looks like. Got some nice fun patterns, and you know, some ones that look kind of circuitry and honeycombs, and a normal clear one. Wool, concrete powder, concrete. Here's terracotta and glazed terracotta. Oh, we got animation. There's all the glazed terracotta have different animation. That's fun. It makes it all look alive. That's pretty crazy. Like that's like microscopic, and you got some eyeballs and teeth and all kinds of crazy things there. The ore. So yeah, these are good readable ores. I don't think you're going to mistake one ore for another. Well, actually, this ore and that ore look identical or nearly identical. Now that I say that, I'm not sure what's going on there, but you know, you can tell the difference between the ore and the regular stone at least. Some nice looking amethyst there. Random lonely magma block. You can definitely tell the difference between the wet and the dry sponge. Here's light sources. Looks like there is a little bit of animation on the lanterns. Some fun torches. I like those. They're very sci-fi. There's the bulbs. Here's campfires. Miscellaneous light sources. These are fun. I like the overall vibe they're going for with this pack. Nice readable signs. This is what you want with signs. They've got, you know, patterns to them, but they're very readable and nice and contrasty. Here's hanging signs, same as the regular signs. The monster spawner has like a crosshair in it. Fences and gates. They're the wood texture. There's your walls. Nothing unusual there. It's just the same textures as the other blocks. Dried kelp block looks very strange. Diamond, lapis, gold, emerald, and redstone blocks. They reuse the same pattern. Same thing with the iron block. Raw copper, gold, and iron. Here's a fun-looking lodestone. Some nice prismarine. Slime, honey, hay bale. The bone block has bones on it. It's a block of bones, that's for sure. Quartz, nice usable quartz there. The copper, not as fond of this copper because it looks, there's not enough difference between the different copper oxidization stages. Here's doors. Oh, these are fun. Some of these are kind of repeat, just color swaps of each other, but there's enough designs there that I think those work well. The trapdoors are all kind of one design. Bookcases, etc. That's fun. There's like eyeballs on the books and stuff too. Everything has eyes in this pack. Almost everything. Here's the enchanting table. The beds. Oh, looks like we got like a little like 1 pixel border around the... No, maybe that's just because it's highlighted. Hold on. No, it does. It has... Okay, so there's a little bit of a glitch with the beds. But they just have one pattern. Feel like they could have done a little bit more with the beds. Crafting tables and villager job tables. Wow, these are definitely different than usual. But you can still kind of tell which one's which if you squint, if you know what to look for. You know, like this one I would have a hard time telling you which one this was. But that's clearly the fletching table, and that's the smithing table. So I guess that makes this the cartography table. Maybe that's supposed to be like a map on top. There's the crafting table. I'm sorry, the crafter. Furnaces. Very like biotech aesthetic with these. The anvil, you can definitely tell how damaged it is. Nice and easy. Fun cauldrons. That's lava. That's a potion. Lava is animated, but just barely. Chests. Now, you might be able to tell the difference between the trapped and the not trapped, but it's very subtle, so I'll give it a pass. Barrel, jukebox, and note block. That's what the music notes look like. Kind of a fun robotic or metallic empty armor stand there. The bell. Doesn't look like they changed the sound effects. Here's what the beacon looks like. And the iron bars. Here is paintings. We'll zoom out so we can see them all. We got a variety of sci-fi things here. I hope that these aren't made by AI. They're probably just done by some artist that they... I don't know. That's always tough to tell. I'm hoping that it's not AI. But the ones that on the bottom row look more like hand-painted or done by an artist for sure. I'm just not so sure about these ones. We do have a custom Dennis. That's our first custom Dennis. It's more of a Chihuahua in this version. Item frames, rails. Here's things in mine carts. What is that? Is that a hopper in a mine cart? Maybe? TNT. Here's Greg, the sheep. In a mine cart. Redstone stuff. Yeah, they've got some fun redstone designs too. It's all very lots of mouths and eyeballs, just like the rest of the pack. Pottery. Yeah, I guess these pots are okay. Not my favorite pots, but whatever. Scaffolding. Here's banners. Boats. So I guess really, like, as far as the paintings go, if they are AI, then it's entirely up to you whether or not you would be comfortable with buying a pack that uses AI art. But I didn't know it was in this pack before I bought it. Here's the vault. It lights up when you get close to it. The resin. The target. That's a fun sci-fi looking target. Here's the player heads and mob heads. Goofy looking dragon head there. The dragon egg. Here's dripstone. Even the dripstone has little mouths on it. Everything wants to eat you on this planet. Lightning rod, chain, heavy core, conduit, and TNT. It actually says TNT. There's the sea pickles, the sea grass, it's colorful sea grass, and the kelp, also known as seaweed. Here's the different dead coral and the live coral. They're alien-ish as well. And the lily pads look kind of fun. So yeah, I think they did a good job on the blocks. It's very sci-fi, very on theme. Definitely looks like stuff that you'd find on an alien planet. All right. Let's set off this cool looking firework rocket. It's more of a rocket than usual. Oh, that's a fun particle on that. That's cool. Nothing unusual about the snowball. That's what the wind charge looks much more white than usual. It's like they traced over the old design with just white. Kind of a fun looking map icon there. Oh, and the map actually looks different from usual. That's fun. It's instead of having tattered edges, it's like a screen or a display. That's kind of cool. Interesting. Sword looks okay in my hand. Let's look at armor trims. I'm sorry, armor first, and then armor trim later. And also the tools as we go along. So it looks like there is one design for the swords. No, there's two designs for the swords. Okay, that's cool. But there's one design for the armor itself, which is a little disappointing. But you know, it's an okay design. I don't think anybody's gonna have too much of a problem with that. I always prefer when the different armor look different from each other, but they're different colors at least. Here's the elytra and the shield. Lots of mouths. The trident, the bow, the mace. These are armor trims. These are amethyst armor trims on iron armor. I don't know why I didn't go for like diamond armor or something instead. Not very many people put armor trims on iron armor, but we've got what we've got. I may redo it at some point, but yeah, these are all custom. That's kind of fun. Looks like some of these change things more than others. Kind of that one's kind of fun on the helmet there. Not a whole lot of detail, but they're fun. Those are pretty good armor trims. Let's look at items, starting with weapons and tools. So we've got the swords and the axes and stuff, and there's a few designs here actually. The swords look more similar to each other than some of the other tools, but that's these work. They look sufficiently sci-fi. Nice arrows there. Here's a fun compass and respawn compass and the clock. Even the spyglass has teeth. The horn, the horse armor. There's some fun sci-fi potions. Food. Very strange food. Definitely looks like something from an alien planet, so on theme. There's music discs. They're little like data chips or data carts. Things in buckets. Minerals. Yeah, I think they did a good job with all the icons. Some of this stuff is a little more difficult to tell what it's supposed to be at first glance, but you know, it's all thematic. Okay, let's go check out the mobs. Okay, here's what a couch or a bench would look like, and regardless of what materials you use, it's going to look pretty similar. Here's a water cooler and kind of a fun nether portal there. Nice when somebody does something different with things. We may have seen a similar design in a different GoE pack. I'm not sure, but that looks vaguely familiar. Let's look at the mobs. Here's the chicken. As you can see, the mobs have custom geometry and very fun alien chicken here. Four-eyed alien chicken. Looks almost peacock-like, really. The warm chicken and cold chicken. We will see the warm and cold variants on the cow and the pig later. Here's the bee. Kind of a fun bee. Very cute. One-eyed cow here with like spines on its back. They did a good job of making these guys look alien, but still be identifiable as what they are. Here's the pig. Yeah, you know, still looks like a pig, right? You know, you can still tell that's what that's supposed to be. The sheep. The sheep is the most normal looking mob that we've seen in this pack so far. Let's shear a sheep just in case. That's what the sheep looks like without its wool. Kind of a fun wolf pattern here. They've got like kind of almost tigery pattern on their faces. Fun, fun, fun. The polar bear. Here's the ocelot. Oh, that's a fun design for the ocelot. They definitely put some thought into how they wanted to make the mobs look. Here's the cats. Looks like there's really like one kind of cat, one kind of pattern on the cat, and then just different colors. I suppose that's okay. The mushroom. Looks like the cow. There's the bat. It's pretty normal. I mean, it's stylized, but you know, it doesn't look very alien. Here's the parrot. Some fun designs on the wings on the parrots and stuff. That's interesting. And we got all your usual patterns there. Here's the rabbit. And the llama looks like a... Are they called tauntauns? Yeah. The critter from Star Wars that Luke Skywalker has to like cut open and hide inside to stay warm on the ice planet. Here's the horse. Kind of a fun horse too. Definitely very eye-catching designs here. There's the horse and horse armor. The donkey and the mule look very similar to the horse, just with different ears. The skeleton horse. You can see the skeletal structure of these horse entities. Horse-like aliens. Zombie horse. Let's jump in with the tropical fish, because it's a little hard to see them through the water otherwise. Yeah, you know. Fun designs. The cod. Fun, fun. Nice big eyes. Pufferfish. Here's the pufferfish in various stages of puffiness. They look a little bit perturbed by my presence. The salmon. There you go. That's what they look like. Fun. That's one of the more fun salmon designs that we've seen. The dolphin. Oh, is it time to spawn in a dolphin? It's been a while. We haven't had to spawn a dolphin in like a couple of months. There you go. The dolphin has like 4 eyes. That's kind of a fun design for the dolphin there. Kind of a cyborg sea turtle. The panda. Crazy, yeah. It's got 3 eyes and kind of a fiery pattern on its around its eyes. The fox. Mostly the eyes are alien on the fox. That didn't change its geometry dramatically. Fun creeper though. Definitely changed the creeper. But you can still tell what it is. Like if you looked at this and somebody asked you what Minecraft mob it was, you'd say creeper, right? Let's go out here and look for the Enderman. Come back here. Oh yeah, these are the guys that that they stole from Stranger Things. So again, like, is that IP theft, or was Stranger Things based on designs from like D&D or something? Because they certainly talked about D&D a lot in Stranger Things. There's the silverfish. Skeleton. Kind of a fun skeleton design there. Made it very alien. Looks fun with the helmet on its head too. The wither skeleton and the stray. They adapted the things that make these mobs look different from each other into the new designs. Oh, kind of a weird brainy looking slime there. Fun. Spider and cave spider. They did something interesting with that as well. This reminds me of something we saw in a horror pack at one point. These zombies. They look kind of like Predator. So there's some things that are definitely inspired. Oh, they look actually a lot like Predator. Definitely some things that were inspired by classic sci-fi tropes. The bog seems to have no legs. It's just floating. And the husk. Husk looks like the zombie. Just different color scheme. So does the drown. So we're seeing some repeated designs there. Squid and glow squid. I feel they could have done more to make the squid and glow squid a little more alien, but it does have one eyeball. So that's definitely something. I would have liked to have seen custom geometry on the squid. This feels like a pack that they would have done something crazy with it. Here's the witch. Guardian and Elder Guardian. Not many packs change the geometry on them. We will spawn in an Endermite. Cute little face on that guy. Oh, we do have a custom magma cube here. Not everybody changes the magma cube. Kind of a funny looking strider. What do they look like when they're in the water? I mean, in the lava, rather. There you go. They just get brighter. These Zoglin, zombified Hoglin. Very alien. Extra eyeballs and stuff. And the zombie piglin. Fun zombie piglin designs. Here's the goat. That's one of the more normal looking mobs in the pack. They just have different eyes. The axolotl. Yeah, they've got like little eyeballs on their the frills around there. There's a word for that, I'm sure. Here's the allay. Funny looking guys. I finally added in some more frogs after the last video that I did. Here's what the frogs look like. Gonna have to spawn in a wandering trader. There you go. Face over this way, guy. So he just looks kind of like a regular wandering trader, but wearing a atmospheric mask. Here's a funny looking camel. And a fun blaze. I do like the blaze. That's an interesting face on it there. And here's the regular ghast. And oh yeah, look at this. We have the happy ghast stuff. So here's the dried ghast. First custom dried ghast that I've gotten to see. Here's the happy ghast. What's the difference between the unhappy ghast? Just the eyes. The eyes are different. That's the difference between these guys, because their mouth is covered up by. Actually, is the mouth plate different too? Face over this way, dude. Yeah, it is. So it's wider. It is like they're smiling, I guess. Fun. There's the harness on the happy ghast. Here is the shulker. It's got 3 eyes. The Vindicator and Evoker are like these alien dudes with their brains in a jar on top of their heads. Fun designs. I like those. Let's look at some villagers. These guys just look kind of like villagers that are wearing like rebreathers in order to live on this planet, and they're wearing sci-fi suits. So fun, you know. I like it. I like them. And there's a couple skin tones too. So there's some differences here. And that guy has eyebrows. So there's differences on the villagers. Here's the zombie villagers. They're kind of funny. Here is the phantom. The pillagers look like the evoker. Here's the ravager. If I can get over here to see him. Got a bunch of eyes. Got 4 eyes. He's green. The iron golem and damaged iron golem. You can tell how damaged they are. Oh, they get a different face when they get damaged too. See, like this is the normal one and those are the damaged ones. When they get damaged, they get increasingly more distraught looking. Their eyes get all screwed up. Here's a snow golem and a snow golem with its pumpkin carved off. Those guys are cute. Sniffer. The sniffer's already kind of an alien looking critter. I guess it's supposed to look prehistoric, not alien, but the armadillo. You can see its eyes there. Yeah. Fun. Here's the warden. Kind of a goofy face on the warden there. At least this pack's not taking itself too seriously, right? Some packs that claim to be going for realism, you know, they're just so serious. There's the breeze. Yeah, I'm not. This one of the things in the description they talked about was, oh, it's hyper realistic, and I'm not sure that anything in this pack is hyper realistic. It's very much so sci-fi. It's way more fantasy and sci-fi than realistic, but it's fun. There's the wither, and here is the creaking. Didn't do anything too crazy with the creaking. He's got like eyeballs on his arms and legs, but that's about it. Okay, yeah, I think the mobs are definitely one of the strong points of this pack. I'm impressed by the custom geometry and just the general level of fun that they had with them. Let's go check out the nether. But before we go to the nether, I just wanted to show off the warm pig and warm cow here. We will see the cold pig and the cold cow when we go to the Stronghold Below template world. Here we are in the nether. You can see there's kind of a different particle floating around in here. It almost looks like snowflakes. It's the particles coming from the nether portal, but just thought I'd show that off. Here's the hoglin, the non-zombified hoglin. Here's the respawn anchor. It's got kind of a fun swirly. The piglins. Do we have more than one piglin design? The outfits are a different color, but it looks like they look very similar to... No, I guess the body armor is different. This one's got kind of a belt on or a cybernetic stomach, and that one doesn't. So there's some differences, but they're subtle, mostly a color change between the different piglins. They could have done more, but you know. Let's fly out this way. There's another look at the ghast. We're going to fly over to another biome real quick, so we always do that. And then we will head on over to the Stronghold Below. Here's what this biome looks like, because I don't have these leaves and stuff set up. And just seeing what the biome looks like in the actual nether helps you get a feel for what it would be like encountering it. Okay, let's go check it out. All right, here we are in the Stronghold Below template world. Here's what the night sky looks like. Nice moon there. You can still see planets in the sky and stuff. There's the skybox in night form. Still looks good. Here's the cold pig and the cold cow. The temperature variants on the pig don't look dramatically different from each other. At least not the cold one from the normal one. But we will fly around here. Here's what a villager house looks like. So if you're building with wood, you can have some fun designs, and the different wood had different colors. So, you know, you could have some very vivid, vibrant colors there. There's the cobweb. And over here is the ruined portal. So the crying obsidian looks dramatically different from the regular obsidian. You can definitely tell the difference there. Once we get back over here, oh, here's what the frozen water and the ice look like. There's some of the crops. I don't know if you got a look at what the crops looked like before. Jump on in. Here's what the stronghold looks like. We'll go ahead and drink that potion. Just regular looking swirlies. Here's a bottle of enchanting. That's what the EXP orbs look like. Goat horn is normal. They didn't change the sound effects in this pack. There's reloading the crossbow. Like I said before, here's what the sword looks like in your hand. I think it looks fine. Yeah, let's go ahead and stick an Eye of Ender in here. That's what the monster spawner looks like when it's got something in it. That's that. Hold on, this is what the lava looks like, by the way. I didn't really show that off very well in the nether. Kind of a fun, bright end portal frame there. And just kind of purpley stars inside the portal. So I don't know if this is going to come across on your screen, but it's like black and it's a black void with white spots. Yeah, there's a better look at those guys. And we will look at the End Crystal and then the Ender Dragon. There's the End Crystal. It's got like alien glyphs on it. Come on down, Ender Dragon. There's the Ender Dragon. Actually, surprisingly not very alien compared to all the other mobs. I feel like they could have done more with the Ender Dragon, so that's a little disappointing. Since it's the final boss and all, you always want them to do something wild with it when it's a crazy sci-fi pack, but I guess it looks okay. So what are my final thoughts on this pack? I think that for 660 Minecraft coins, you are definitely getting a lot of bang for your buck. The blocks, they advertise that they're hyper realistic. They're not really what I would classify as hyper realistic. And there was a little bit of repetition with the blocks, but I did think that they were very alien. Like, they did a good job of making it look like an alien planet. And the animated glazed terracotta was a nice touch. Always love to see animation. You see far too little animation in Minecraft because it's so hard to, you know, it's extra work, right? The only real major problem that I had with the blocks were the fact that some of the paintings definitely look like they were done by AI. You know, maybe I'm wrong, but the top ones, the top row, did not pass the smell test. And whether that's a problem to you or not is entirely up to you. But I don't think there's really a place for AI art in Minecraft texture packs, personally. As far as the items go, I thought they were all very high quality and on theme. And the armor trims were subtle, like they were thin and small details, but I thought they looked good on the armor. The armor itself, there was only one design or whatever, but you know, it was fine. The mobs, I think, are really the strongest point of this pack. I mean, the blocks were alien, but the mobs were definitely alien. I thought that they did a great job with the custom geometry. Like the mobs still look like they belong in Minecraft. They're still blocky, but they did a good job of making the mobs look different enough while at the same time being identifiable as what they're supposed to be. And very fun designs just across the board on the mobs. A lot of creativity in like some of the faces and stuff. They did an excellent job with the mobs. I would say that this is probably like my second favorite texture pack in terms of like custom geometry on the mobs. There were some designs that were clearly like heavily inspired by famous things, but that's not necessarily a problem. The UI is pretty basic. Like the item bar just looks like the normal item bar pretty much. And same with the menu, so they didn't really do anything crazy with the UI. But I did think that the sky was excellent. So overall, I think I'm going to give this pack like a 4.8 out of 5. There were a couple of things that could have been better, but you know, I think that they should still be proud of themselves for what they've accomplished with this one. And just the one of the big selling points was definitely the price tag, because this is the kind of pack that you would expect to be 990 Minecraft coins or more. All right, well, thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please leave it a like, and please subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace. Thank you. Please like, subscribe, and share. Drifter Garden was filmed in front of an undead studio.